Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Gisette. Don't mind my broken nail. But if you haven't watched my first video, I recommend you check it out. I talk about how I lost 100 pounds in 10 months, and I answered a couple questions that people had on my TikTok. I'm trying to record, and Muna is getting in my videos. So a lot of people don't know what fasting is. So fasting is when you go a certain amount of time without eating, and the only thing you're allowed to have in that time is water, green tea, and black coffee. I don't like either of those things, so when I would fast, I would just drink water. And then my favorite thing is when I really was hungry or when I really wanted something, I would always enjoy sugar-free popsicles. It was literally like eating something, but not really eating something. And that was the best thing because it's really a mind thing. And if you watch my first video, I kind of explain, we can lose weight. We can do it. We have the physical capability. We have everything that we need to lose the weight that we want to lose. In my first video, I talked about how I lost 100 pounds in 10 months by fasting, calorie deficit, low-carb meals. And I mean, like I said, I didn't diet. I just balanced out my lifestyle. I would eat clean for 3-4 days, then I would have 2 days where I ate something that was a little bit more fattier or sweeter, whatever it is that you crave. And then I wanted to get into fasting a little bit and explain how I did my fasting. So there's many different kinds of fasting. There's a 16-hour fast with an 8-hour eating window. There's an 18-hour fast with the 6-hour eating window. There's a 20-hour fast with the 4-hour eating window, and then there's a 24-hour fast. I have done the 24-hour fast, I would say, on maybe like 6 or 7 times on occasion. I am not fond of 24-hour fasts. I believe that our body needs fuel, but I also believe that when you fast, it allows you to break down the fat that's in your body. And that's when I first started losing weight. I could not go 16 hours without eating. That was incredibly impossible for me, and I just couldn't do it. So when I first started fasting, I did 12-hour eating window, 12-hour fasting. It took me a lot of trial and error to know what it is I needed to do to actually lose the weight and maintain the weight. And when I learned about fasting, I was absolutely amazed that I could just fast and lose weight. For a while, I didn't work out. I was just fasting. I was fasting and I was lowering my portions, and I immediately started to see results on the scale. Well, a lot of people want to know how many times a week I work out. Honestly, it all depends on my work schedule. I've been really busy lately. It can range from 3 days a week to 6 days a week. It really just depends on what you can commit to, what you can put into it. I would say my average is 4 to 5 days a week with at least 45 to 2 hours. It just depends on my energy levels. I know my stopping point. I know when it's time for me to stop. I know when I'm being lazy. I know when I can keep going. I know my body, and I know that it's not something that's easy. I also want to talk about the things that changed when I lost 100 pounds. I was a certified nursing assistant. I would take care of the elderly in their home, and I would be sitting on my ass all day. I had to stop. So recently I decided that maybe it's time for me to branch out, and I decided to find a job that was a little bit more physical. I went to this restaurant and I got hired as a server. I've never been a server. For one, if you asked me if I would be a server when I was 330 pounds, I would probably have laughed because I cannot run around a restaurant giving people food. My fat ass probably would have been hungry, if you really want to be honest. But I decided that it was time for me to take it up a notch. On top of me going to the gym 4 to 5 times a week, I do serving. So I'm running around the restaurant at least 4 to 5 hours. And there you go. That's another mini workout that is not even intentional. And it's not comfortable sitting around and lounging around anymore. I truly enjoy physical activity. I enjoy, doing things that I know are going to help me in the end because I've worked so hard to get here. And you guys can do the same exact thing. It just takes small steps because, like I said, this is not easy. I have managed somehow to make it look very easy to people, and I want to say I'm sorry for that because it is not easy. I have had days where I've wanted to give up. I have had days where I have been unhappy with my progress and the results that I've had, and I felt like I worked so hard to have such little results. But now that I think about it, 10 months later, I'm 103 pounds down. And if you think for 1 second that I'm not happy, I am so happy with the decisions that I made and the commitment and the accountability that I had for myself to even get to this point. And it's only up from here because this is just the beginning. We tend to self-sabotage when we think that we're not getting the results that we need. The work that you put in is what you're going to get. I promise 100%. If you're fasting, and don't get me wrong, I don't fast every single day. You can do every other day. You can do every 2 days. It's just something that helps boost your metabolism. It's something that's taught me how to rein in my cravings and not want everything that I see and not eat everything that I see. There's a time and a place for everything. I'll give an example on how I started fasting. So when I began to do the 16-hour fast with the 8-hour eating window, let's say I stopped eating at 8 o'clock, okay? 16 hours from 8 o'clock would be 12 p.m. the next day. Between that time, obviously I'd be sleeping most of it. And then when I wake up, depending on if you're a person who wakes up early, I would say do something that keeps you busy. That's what I do. I would either go to the gym first, I would clean up, I would get ready for the day, I would do any morning routine that I have or you have, whatever it is. And then at 12 o'clock, I would have a light meal. I always have at least one water bottle with every meal. But I try, and almost always I have 2 because I truly enjoy drinking water. For a calorie deficit, what I did was I got my target weight, which was around 190, 200, times that by 12. Whatever that number is what you need to stay under for calories. Again, in my previous video, I stated that I don't count calories. But I portion control. So regardless of how much food I ate, if I'm portion controlling, within a certain amount of time when I'm fasting, there's no way that I can go over 2,300 calories, which is around the amount that I was supposed to be under, you know? It really just depends on your eating habits. And don't think that you have to starve yourself. You have to work your way up. It's small changes. And when you get to the point where you feel like you can eat less, that is how I did it. I ate less. The more that I can go without food, the longer, the better. The less I can eat, the better. I don't need to eat a heaping amount of food to make myself feel fueled. And there are many methods that people use for a calorie deficit, but honestly, it really depends on what you have. I used a BMR calculator before. It's online. You just put in your weight, your height, and all those things. And then the other method is what I said, doing your target weight, the weight that you want to be at times 12. And then as you get better with fasting and as you get better with, calorie deficit, you can go to a pro deficit, which is times your target weight times 11 or times 10, which will give you a lower calorie maintenance, which will allow you to lose more weight essentially while you're fasting because you're not taking in so many calories. And depending on what fast you do, there's no way, unless you're eating too much, that you can take in 2,300 or 2,000 calories in 6 to 4 hours. And I'm not an expert, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, but this is what I did. This is what worked for me. I want to say that there will come times where you'll feel like you're lazy. You're not lazy. It's just your weight is holding you back. Imagine being 100 pounds lighter, and then as you're 100 pounds lighter, somebody brings you 250 pounds weights and put them on your shoulder. You're going to be like, well, damn, that's a lot of weight. Yeah, that's a lot of weight. And just imagine it all over your body. You have to put these things in a kind of a different perspective to allow yourself to have a different mentality about losing weight. It's about bettering yourself. It's not about, oh, I have to lose weight. No, it's about, I want to be a healthier and happier version for me. I want to do this for me. I'll update because a lot of people want to join this journey with me. And I do want to say that my fitness plan will be available very soon, I promise. It is going to have so many things included in it to help you. I'm included in it. I'm going to be there to help you guys, to give you advice, to give you the motivation that you need, because I wish that I had that person when I first started. I wish that I had someone who done what I did to help me, to ease the trial and error, to make it so that I was able to lose weight, and honestly a lot quicker, because I had my mistakes. I overate. I did things that I just shouldn't have done, and I know I shouldn't have done it, but because I had to break those bad habits and those bad cycles, You know, I'm so excited to introduce this to you guys, and it's going to be such a great opportunity for all of us to connect and for me to help you guys with things that you're struggling with. There's just so much more to weight loss that these companies that are advertising and, you know, these people that are selling supplements don't talk about. It's not just losing weight. It's not just eating good and working out. When you lose weight, your mentality is such a big part of this whole journey. You know, you have to be accountable for everything that you do. You have to be that bigger person. You have to be that person right here on your shoulder. When it's time and you feel like you're ready to give up, you have to, don't give up. Don't give up. You know? It takes time, it takes patience, and it takes some really hard effort to get to where you want to be. And I totally understand that. And I'm coming from somewhere that I knew how hard it was going to be, but I truly wanted this, and I truly want this now, and I can't wait to help you guys. You don't have to eat completely clean. You don't have to be miserable, and you don't have to miss out on important events in your life, in your personal life, you know, with family or, you know, birthdays, celebrations, anything. This is something that I'm going to take on with me, like as a lifestyle. You know, eventually I won't need to be under such a caloric deficit because I won't need to be losing weight and I'll be maintaining weight. But as of right now, this is something that I am truly passionate about. I truly love fasting, even though sometimes I get very hungry. I know what it does to my body. It makes me feel amazing. I wake up every day with so much more energy now. I wake up, my stomach doesn't hurt when I go to bed because I'm not going to bed on a full stomach. I'm not going to bed after I just ate all the things I shouldn't have ate. There's so many things that fasting and calorie deficit has done for me that I want to share with others. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And again, thank you so much for all the support.